Well, it is the first Thursday of the year, and we are honored to be talking today with Jason Boyett. Y'all, he is the host and the creator of what's already the most listened to local podcast of 2020.
Already, 2 days in.
Who would have thought?
I don't know.
I mean, of course, we're talking about Hey Amarillo, the greatest of all of the podcasts. You've got a special guest this week. Why did you choose him for this one?
You know, I like to start a new year with sort of an inspirational podcast. And so in the past, I've talked to 3 Protestant pastors. I've talked to a Unitarian Universalist minister. I've never talked before. I'm sorry. I've never spoken to a Catholic priest. So I wanted to talk to Father Scott just because I know he's got a deep, deep history in this area. Grew up here. His family's lived here for generations. And just to talk about who we are, you know, as a people living here. Some of the challenges we face, some of his suggestions for going into a new year and, you know, making the best of our lives and stuff. And so we had a pretty deep conversation. Talked a lot about history, the history of the Catholic Church in Amarillo, which is really significant. I mean, we have hospitals here because of the nuns who came up with St. Anthony's, you know, 100 years ago. So we talk about a lot of that stuff. It's a really interesting conversation.
And so did he offer any advice for starting the new year? I assume he did.
He did. One of his suggestions was that we so often react based on fear or based on assumptions we make about people. And instead of doing that, he said we should always stop to reflect first, to think about what's happening, think about who a person is before just letting something make us, you know, upset. He also said we should stop watching 24-hour news channels.
I mean, preach.
That doesn't do anything but drive that fear. So that was a really good thing. I just appreciate that it was kind of an opportunity to slow down, to go a little bit deeper in a conversation that we had. It was fun.
What do you do going into the new year? Do you have any sort of advice?
I changed my hairstyle.
I can tell. I wasn't going to bring it up.
Don't throw shade at my man bun.
No, I would never throw shade in a man bun. I'm always a man bun fan, just so you know.
Okay, I'm pretty close to cutting it. So.
So
you want to do a Do My Job segment?
That's what you're going to do in the new year?
Go to a salon and cut my hair off. We can do that on TV.
Cut Jason's hair.
Personally, you know, I think a good thing, I'm going to try to read more this year. I used to read all the time, and I've gotten away from that, so that's something that I intend to do.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's funny how, I mean, I don't know, people kind of shade on, you know, on New Year's resolutions a lot of times, but it is sort of a marker to sort of sit back and reflect.
I think it's good to set goals, and it's good to have grace for yourself if you don't meet those goals. I mean, don't cause yourself to do something you're just going to feel guilty over.
Sure.
You know? Let's try it. If it doesn't work, that's fine.
That's all right. We'll try something else again. What do you have in store for 2020? Any exciting things for the podcast that you kind of want to...
You know, I've got some really interesting upcoming guests, but that's kind of always the case.
Sure.
A few guests that I know that you know. Beyond that, you know, I'm starting to think about what are some other things that I could do to kind of improve the way that I communicate to people in Amarillo.
That's awesome.
Maybe beyond the podcast.
Very good. Cool stuff. Jason Boyett, where do we find the podcast in case you haven't listened?
Find your favorite podcast app and do a search for Hey Amarillo. You should find it there or go to heyamarillo.com. That's the easiest way.
Check it out. Heyamarillo.com. Jason Boyett, always a pleasure, no matter what his hairstyle is.
I hope so.
Bun or no bun. Okay, now we're going to talk about some different buns. Now that you've joined a gym, what do? We've got a way to work on that booty when we come back.